Perfect. Welcome, everybody. This is being recorded, this webinar, and we will send out the recording tomorrow. So you're welcome to share it with anyone you think might benefit from the content. My name is Susan Power. I am founder and CEO of Power Up Leadership and appreciate all of you for making some time to attend this webinar today. So the focus is on coaching skills for managers. And if you have experienced your managers struggling to integrate team coaching into their day-to-day work, the intent is really by the end of this program that your managers will gain an understanding of coaching frameworks and skills, and they'll practice proven coaching techniques that will enable them to be more comfortable to embrace coachable moments. And the focus is really on equipping managers to effectively coach their team. We know that command and control management is on the way out, so coaching is a better approach to engage, empower, and drive performance on teams. And through coaching, often what happens is it creates a much more positive work environment and it builds stronger relationships. So when managers coach their teams, it helps them reach their full potential through the manager's coaching. And it also makes the manager's role much more engaging because they're spending more time and they have more time to develop, coach, and upskill their people. So, how to transform your managers into leaders who are able to empower, develop, and motivate their teams. So, really, at Power Up Leadership, our focus is to support organizations to build a coaching culture and to transform their managers from overworked employees into impactful coaches who drive high performance, increase employee engagement, and achieve exceptional outcomes that increase accountability on their teams. Our goal is to transform your managers into impactful coaches who drive that performance. And if any of you are managers on the call today, you've likely been on the receiving end of receiving low quality work from the occasional direct report. And often what happens is when managers experience this, they're scrambling at the last minute, and sometimes they become micromanagers because they don't want to experience that pain again. So they often start to take very much a command and control approach to direct the work versus coaching and upskilling their team members. So we know everyone wants to avoid working for a micromanager. Everyone hates working for that style of manager. Yet often managers feel they have no choice when their team is not delivering on time the quality work that they need. They feel like they need to really, breathe down their neck and micromanage. So through coaching, that can be avoided. So today, the learning objectives are to share with you the 3 secrets of why coaching works. We're going to showcase a few case studies that will demonstrate for you the power of coaching, share with you lessons learned from working with my coach to give you a flavor of how coaching works. And finally, we will give you a preview to our fuller 14-hour over 12-week coaching skills program. So today's really kind of a sneak peek of that as well. And finally, we'll open it up to any Q&A you might have or thoughts that you would like to share at the end of the masterclass. If you're not familiar with us, Power Up Leadership, we're based in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, and we have been in business going on 6 years. So my name is Susan Power. I am the founder and CEO of the organization. And my background is I spent 20 years in corporate human resources, became certified as a professional certified coach, and started up this company because I wanted to create inspired leaders. I felt like leadership was lacking across many organizations, and I think that it's an area that many organizations underinvest in and people learn through experience. So the intent was really to accelerate and support managers to build their leadership capability more quickly. And that is the reason we designed this Coaching Skills for Managers program. At Power Up Leadership, our BHAG, our Big Hairy Audacious goal, is to create 1 million inspired leaders by 2033. So we focus at Power Up on designing and delivering leadership coaching training programs. We work with a lot of healthcare organizations, nonprofits, tech firms, and some professional services organizations. So our vision is to cultivate inspired leadership by offering exceptional insight, top tier executive coaching and training, and expertise to support leaders in growing their capabilities in communications, relationship building, conflict management, and helping them and their teams optimize their potential in the workplace. Through working with a certified coach, the benefit of that is it provides that personalized, highly focused leadership development experience where leaders can feel safe bringing their challenges to the coach to receive coaching. And the training combined with the coaching complements each other quite well, where you learn the techniques and then you have a chance to follow up with challenges one-on-one with the coach. Provides that safe space for leaders to explore not only their strengths, but their challenges and their opportunities. What is coaching? If you've never worked with a coach, it's very much a growing field, and there's coaches for every facet of your life. All the coaches at Power Up are certified through the global body called International Coaching Federation, and their definition of coaching is partnering with clients in a thought-provoking creative process to inspire them to maximize their personal and professional potential. And I didn't realize this until I entered coaching. It's not a regulated profession like therapy would be. But if you are a credentialed coach through ICF, it's quite a process to become one. Anyone can call themselves a coach, but if you are credentialed to get the mid-tier, which they call a professional certified coach tier, requires 500 plus hours of coaching experience, the majority of those hours being paid client experience. And you need to submit 2 recordings to the organization with the client's permission, 2 transcripts, videos to be assessed that you're meeting all the coaching competency markers. So it is, there's a lot to it. A lot of managers think, oh, I'm already coaching my employees, and some perhaps are maybe scratching the surface, but there's a lot to learn in the field of coaching. I know I continue to try to learn more each day as a coach that coaches full-time. And, you know, if you are in a corporate environment, I've been where you are. In my last role, I was in an executive HR role who was promoted quickly within the organization. And when I moved into my new role, I felt unsupported by my new leader, and I had a very large team to manage, a large scope of work to manage HR for a division of 5 businesses. And at the time, my kids were quite young. And I struggled to manage the stress and to find that elusive work-life integration when I was at work. You know, I was thinking about my kids at home sometimes and vice versa, just didn't really feel present. And luckily for me, when I left corporate and started at Power Up Leadership 6 years ago, I became certified as a coach and really understood at that time the power that coaching can have to support leaders in a transition and to be successful in their role. So my goal with Power Up right from the beginning was to level up the quality of leadership in our workplaces, and to do so from a place that understands the pressure that managers and executives are under, and to provide that external support system, the coaching skills, so that managers can be successful both professionally and personally, because I do believe it's possible, even though there are a lot of demands on managers today. So hence Coaching Skills for Managers was born. The only way for you to transform your managers from overworked employees into impactful coaches. And all the details are on our website, powerupleadership.ca. You can apply for the program. We have criteria of those that are the best fit for this program. It really is designed ideally for people managers or successors moving into a people manager role. And the outcome is to transform how managers lead through coaching. By the end of the program, managers will have a very deep understanding and applied understanding of coaching frameworks and skills, and ample opportunities to put that into practice throughout the program, which this enables them to increase their confidence so they are able to dance in the moment with their employees to coach them through challenges that you can't always plan for in advance, that they're able to respond and listen and find the right questions so they're able to support their team to find their own answers and coach their team to be successful. We know that empowering managers to coach their teams enables them to tap into the potential and the strengths of their direct reports. And your managers will be more engaged by coaching their team to find their own answers rather than just telling them what to do. So really, it comes down to the vision of what we're trying to provide as a service at Power Up, which is to cultivate inspired leadership through exceptional insight, top tier executive coaching, and that expertise that supports leaders to grow their leadership skills in communications, relationship building, conflict resolution. And there's a lot of best practices in the field. We are constantly mining from John Maxwell, who is, he's written hundreds of books on leadership development, Dan Martell, Tony Robbins. Like, we're pulling from the best of the best when we're creating our programs. And that's something that most leaders and managers, they might find the subject interesting, but they just don't have time to constantly be mining and bringing that thought leadership forward. Like any field, it's changing constantly day to day. And that's really, I think, the real value prop that we bring to our programs. So coaching skills for managers, we piloted this program in 2023 with 75 managers at WorkSafe New Brunswick. And the intent when we brought it to them as a private program was to support them in creating a coaching culture and to provide the frameworks to make it easy for their managers to start coaching their teams right away. So we really were focused on supporting managers to coach and empower their team to be more self-sufficient, to find their own answers. And like many other technical roles, like they have at WorkSafe, there's a lot to learn in each job, staying on top of regulations, et cetera. So it can sometimes be a lot for managers to feel like they need to provide all the answers. And with coaching, you don't. You need to ask the right question. So you support your direct report to find their own answers, know where to start, and to support them in that process. So since then, they've asked us to turn this into, WorkSafe New Brunswick has asked us to turn this into a public program because we trained the bulk of their managers last year. And they're putting through an additional 17 managers this year through our program. And there's other companies, of course, that being public participating in this for 2024. Our experience last year when we piloted it was participants told us the program works. These are a few of the testimonials we received from participants. So calling out things like learning how to listen by asking the right questions without judgment, with empathy, and really feeling confident in learning the coaching skills to do that on the job. So as part of this program, there's a four private coaching sessions. So the second comment we see here, the person's talking about those great conversations they had with their ICF coach and how the coach assisted the manager to coach in a way that they felt like their coach really cared about their progress and provided that feedback to the manager on different scenarios in terms of how they were making out with coaching and additional resources to support them to be successful in coaching their team. And finally, the last comment here, Whether we realize it or not, we all have a role to help coach others, but most is done on the fly and not by design. These sessions provided some structured approaches and styles when elevating the skill set for both the coaches and the coachee audience. So, by providing coaching frameworks, coaching questions, coaching scenarios, it helps solidify a manager's minds the opportunities for coaching so they can recognize and embrace those coachable moments when they come up day to day. So I'd like to share with you some case studies of how coaching can really be impactful at your organization. And these are from external coaching work, clients I work with one-on-one. However, these scenarios could come up very much in your workplace as well as an internal manager coach. You may have seen something similar, or if you haven't, maybe you will in the future. So, the first case study is a client who approached me who had been in her executive role for a number of years, and there was just no upward trajectory that was anticipated. No, in her department, just no one was going to retire. It was government, and she felt kind of stuck. So she was feeling unmotivated. She was feeling bored. And that was the challenge. How do I engage and feel more impactful in my role? So the approach that we took, or one activity that we took, was to walk her through an annual goal setting framework and to support her as her coach to unlock a new sense of possibilities for what avenues she may not have considered that could engage her more in her role, because her concern was, if I'm checked out and not feeling engaged in my role, my team, it seems to be invisible today, but my team might start to sense that, and I don't want to feel this way going into work each day. So I continue to work with her, but through the coaching relationship, she has uncovered some new ideas of where she needs to focus and move forward, so she's able to show up fully each day in her role. The second case study of coaching and the impact coaching can have that I would like to share with you is a client who had gone through a major career transition. So she was in a new role, a new organization, she had a new team, and she was a sales executive. So for this client, it really, the focus of many of the coaching conversations was about creating the right mindset and habits so she could be successful right out of the gate in the role. And often when there is a career transition, coaching is such a valuable resource and can be so supportive to the manager or executive to successfully make that transition. So for this individual, she increased her confidence by creating the right mindset and habits. So she felt and she truly believed that she could successfully lead and align her team. In her words, she felt a bit of imposter syndrome when she took on the role. And coaching helped her create the right beliefs and a 90-day action plan so she could focus on the right priorities for her role. And the outcome has been she's been very successful. I continue to work with her, and she met her sales targets for the year. She grew a new sales territory, and now we've kind of moved on to different things because she has that foundation of mindset and habits that are working for her. So, in terms of this masterclass today, I really would like to provide an overview of the type of coaching frameworks that your managers can expect to receive through this broader program. And today, I will share with you 3 secrets to coaching, and we'll walk through each of these one by one. So, the first one is coaching questions drive accountability within your team. So again, it comes back to that idea that managers sometimes feel they need to have all the answers, and it takes the pressure off of them when they start to discover coaching often and they realize, no, they just need to ask the right question. Not saying managers never need to have an answer, but when they are wearing their coaching hat, which is something that most managers can do more often, they just need to apply the coaching skills so they can listen and ask the right question. So some people managers, whether in healthcare, government, or small business, might think, I don't understand how coaching my team will help me. However, by the end of our Coaching Skills for Managers program, your managers will learn the coaching techniques that will enable them to feel comfortable embracing those coachable moments with their direct reports. And they'll start to create that positive work environment based on strong trust, strong relationships, and empowering and trusting their team to reach their objectives with their coaching. Your managers will be more engaged in their roles, and they'll start to see their teams find their own answers and bring them higher quality work as a result of their coaching, compared to telling them step by step by step by step what to do without being fully immersed in the work. It's not an effective way for managers to move forward, but often they do that because they want to get the quality product that they want and they're micromanaging. That's not the best path forward. Coaching questions drive accountability within your team. You might be thinking, I don't understand how my managers are supposed to magically find this time to coach their staff when they're in meetings constantly. And often managers, they have a tough job. They feel like they're feeling pressure, like the meat in the middle of a sandwich. They're feeling pressure from their direct reports on one side and pressure from the execs on the other side. However, the truth is that your team needs your managers to coach them to be successful. And if your team fails, that means your managers have failed them as a leader. Let me share with you a quick story. When I was in my last corporate executive role, I too often felt like I didn't have time to coach my team. I was in meetings back to back all day, stressed out, flooded with emails. Emails just never stopped. But what I learned was emails are just the noise, and the heart of the business is run by the people. So by finding some time each day, even if some days it's just 5 minutes, to pick up the phone, to send a text, and to coach your people, that's what drives results in the business. And what I learned was those micro interactions, those coachable moment opportunities, whether it was a conversation in the elevator or sending a recognition to support an employee who'd done something well, or an impromptu phone call to a peer, those connection moments were the opportunities for coaching and what drove performance. So if your managers can find some time to coach their people, that's what builds that skill set and up levels the skills of their team. They develop and they help their team get just a little bit better each day. They help shape their mindset and their capabilities. And it pays dividends because they're upskilling their people over time versus just telling them what to do without the person truly understanding or thinking or taking that accountability themselves. We know that the top reason that employees often leave an organization is because of a poor relationship with their manager. And it's the most important relationship that the employee has is with their direct manager. So finding that space and time to coach your directs one-on-one is the most important thing you do as a people manager. And it helps build that trust when it's done right and it's done with genuine care and consistency. It can have a huge impact. Your managers may say to you, I don't know how I'm supposed to find the time to coach. However, coaching is the secret to helping your managers free up more time. And the most important job of a manager is to upskill their people, to basically upskill them so they can replace the manager, so the manager could take on their next opportunity or role. And coaching is the only way to reduce some of that pressure. Secret number 2 that I would love to share with you is that your managers becoming the best version of themselves, going through their own leadership development transformation is necessary so they can effectively coach their direct reports. So many people managers in healthcare, tech government, or small business owners may think, I'm strong with the technical details, but I find the people stuff draining. And yeah, people can be difficult, 100%. Coming from HR, I appreciate that. but it's really the job of being a leader, being a manager. And I'll share with you a quick story. When I was in my last corporate role, I remember traveling a lot for work, and I was at the airport one day waiting for a flight, and one of my directs called me on my cell phone, and she was stressed out because she needed to present at period review. And at the time, I wasn't a certified coach at the time, but I gave her a little bit of coaching, a micro coaching moment. And we started to reframe her mindset going into the presentation. And I asked her some questions about, tell me what you're feeling like. What have you done so far to prepare for this meeting? I gave her some cheerleading coaching of listing off many of her accomplishments that she had accomplished. So she was feeling good going into the meeting. And I think the outcome was through the conversation, we increased her confidence. So when she went into that meeting, she knocked it out of the park. She did an exceptional job presenting. And the coaching, I think, supported her a little bit in that process. So it's really about finding the time and continuing to work on your own leadership to become the best version of yourself as a leader, so your people are comfortable coming to you with challenges, and they bring that to you because they trust you and they want your coaching. Beware the coach who doesn't have a coach. If you're hiring, a private executive coach, I recommend asking them, who do you work with for coaching? This is a picture of one of the coaches that I work with. His name is Dan Martel. We are in Kelowna on the rooftop of the Innovation Center after afternoon of coaching, gave me a tour of the building. And, Dan is a phenomenal business coach. He's exited 3 SaaS companies. He coaches a lot of CEOs at the world's most successful companies. And I had the privilege to pay for 3 hours of his time and have learned so much through him. And really, the benefit of it is he gives all the entrepreneurs in his group access to share his frameworks. He encourages us to do that with our clients. So if there's anything that ties into a coaching conversation that's relevant, I always ensure I share his material. And just like Dan saw the potential in me as an entrepreneur and continues to give me confidence to build my business, your manager coaches, by supporting their team through coaching, can also help them realize what their potential is and to bring that to your organization and to share it with the world. And my personal philosophy is no cap on spend for personal professional development. The ROI of coaching is 5 to 7 times investment. And coaching is the way of the future. Command and control leadership is dying, and coaching is, there's a reason it's a growing industry. It's because it works. So the results that I've experienced, business results I've experienced through coaching, my financials for the business increased 150% in net profit year over year with a lean, agile team, bootstrapped business. And I believe this all came down to mindset and execution, which came from coaching. So often managers, they have a fear sometimes of becoming far removed from the technical work, and they want to be involved in every detail because they don't want their skills to atrophy. However, really the most important thing that a manager does, a people manager, is to create that safe environment for their team members to escalate issues quickly when they do occur and provide the coaching as needed to support the people to resolve their own issues. This is why we created Coaching Skills for Managers, to transform your managers from overworked employees into impactful coaches who drive high performance, increase employee engagement, and achieve exceptional business outcomes by encouraging accountability on their teams. So some of the testimonials we received from this program were about the passion that the coaches have for coaching and that they look forward to using their coaching skill set in their leadership, and also just the forum it provides to learn from other manager peers that are going through the program and realizing they're having similar challenges, that it can be both validating to the participants, but also give them new ideas for how to approach different coaching scenarios. So the last secret I want to share with you today is around how your managers can effectively coach others if they're not being coached by their executive leaders. Because sometimes this is the case that execs are super busy and they may not have gone through a program like this. So they may not be on the receiving end of coaching within the organization. So, how am I going to learn how to coach if I'm not being coached by my leaders? Is sometimes what we hear. And really, the truth is that through experiencing coaching with the external coaches through our Coaching Skills for Managers program, you will experience coaching by a professional certified coach who's worked with hundreds of managers just like you. And when we asked the managers through the pilot last year, on a scale of 1 to 10, how prepared do they feel to coach? The answer we received on average was a 9 out of 10. So we know it works. It can feel awkward at first when you start to learn coaching if it's new to you, but through practice, like anything, practice makes progress and you will become comfortable coaching and it will just become a natural part of your toolkit. So before working with Dan, my first coach, a wonderful lady by the name of Shameen in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and she is a master certified coach. And when I was working with her, I was at the front end of going through the coaching credentialing process, and I thought I knew what coaching was, but I remember the experience. It was transformative for me. And when I think back on those calls, what really the impact was that she created that safe environment where I felt like I could bring any challenge that I had to the call and that there'd be no judgment involved, and that she would listen with empathy and ask me the right questions so I could come up with clear actions and make progress in between the coaching calls. So, one thing she helped me with, Shameen, was my mindset around building relationships. So, through her questions, she really helped me look at assumptions I had about uh, building new professional relationships and some false beliefs I had about interacting with others that I wasn't even aware of before she asked me the coaching questions. And I remember to this day one of the actions that she assigned me as homework, which is usually how a coaching session will end, whether you're a manager, coach, external coach, was to start talking to strangers everywhere I went. So at the grocery store, in the elevator, and just strike up conversations and see where they went to increase that comfort level of engaging with others and building an instant connection the best that I could in a 2 minute, 30-second conversation. And it was, just sometimes we get stuck in our own ways of thinking. So coaching can really help us come up with a new mindset. And you have to experience it to really understand it, but that's another example for you of the impact of coaching. So Coaching Skills for Managers is really about transforming your managers into leaders who empower, develop, and motivate their teams. And again, it's from taking managers from being overworked employees and transforming them into impactful coaches who can increase employee engagement and achieve exceptional business outcomes and accountability on their teams. So, just as managers want to avoid receiving that low quality work from their direct reports where they have to scramble and fix the work through coaching, and by pushing back through coaching the work and asking the right questions, they will see their direct reports progress and it will build their confidence and trust mutually to just create a stronger team, a team that trusts each other and relies on each other. So, what's included in this program? It's a 14-hour program, all virtual, over a 12-week period. And we have several pre-learning resources, articles, videos, templates, coaching questions as part of the pre-learning. We have a DISC workplace communications assessment that will support managers in understanding their preferred communication style in the workplace and how they may modify if they're communicating with a person with a different style. There are 6 90-minute virtual training sessions. The first one is scheduled for April 11, 2024. And they're all recorded as well. If any of the dates don't work, all the training is recorded. There is a coaching skills diagnostic following the training where the manager will self-assess where they still need further coaching on coaching. So they'll assess where there are strengths and where there are potential improvement opportunities for their coaching skill set. This is followed by 2 90-minute group coaching sessions led by an ICF coach, where there are coaching demos, so you'll get to observe and learn from others coaching. And there are breakout sessions where you get to practice what you learned in the training through the group coaching. 4 30-minute private coaching sessions scheduled at a time that works best for you and your coach, where you can bring and receive that personalized coaching on coaching, things that you might not feel comfortable with raising in the group setting, and really just have that dedicated coach who is there to serve you and coach you on your own leadership journey and where you need coaching support. Finally, there's a post-coaching learning resources and materials, a private LinkedIn group, access to coaching.com, and a certificate that you get at the end of the program. So the 6 modules are listed here in terms of the training, 90-minute virtual training sessions every 2 weeks. So they're based on the ICF competencies for coaching, the level that a manager would require to understand coaching. So it's 9 hours of the 14 hours is the training component, everything from a body's coaching mindset to creating that trusting coaching relationship, active listening as a coach, communicate by asking powerful questions, empowerment, accountability with coaching, and the final module 6, very, very much applied, building coaching behaviors that last. And as I mentioned, we've tested out this program with 75 managers who work safe New Brunswick, and 95% of them strongly agreed that their coaches helped them create goals for themselves that were both valuable and challenging. So we know the program works. We've piloted it. They're continuing to put 17 additional managers through the program. And I'm really excited to bring this to the broader market now because I know the impact. It can be life-changing, the impact of coaching both professionally and personally. And it's really about developing and coaching those managers so they can help create that coaching culture within your organization. You might be thinking your directs won't respond to coaching and that they won't take more accountability for their work. This is a mistake. When they think that you see their value as their manager and you recognize their potential, that will increase your direct reports' commitment to taking action, and it will increase their confidence. And really, for your managers, it will transform them into leaders who develop and motivate their teams, which is often the part of the job that's most engaging as a people manager. So just like the case study I shared with you about the client who was feeling bored and lack of motivation in her executive role in government and had to set some new goals and unlock a new sense of possibilities, your managers can use these similar frameworks to motivate and engage their team, and experiencing coaching and apply it to real on-the-job problem scenarios as coached by their ICF coach so they can immediately start to apply the content to real problems on the job. And again, like the other case study I shared, the leader who had to make that transition to a new company, a new role, and grow a new sales territory, you can similarly with your directs help them create that right mindset and habits and that 90-day plan to be successful in a new role so they're able to be successful when they transition. And like I shared with you earlier in my own promotion, my own transition in corporate, where I struggled as a young mother to deal with the stress of work and life, and to find the right way to align the team and to create the confidence that I could be successful in my role and that I struggled with that. You and your managers will not need to struggle the same way because through coaching, through the support of this program, your managers will be able to accelerate how they show up as a leader with a coaching approach supported by their own private ICF coach, where they'll be able to support their team to be successful. We know the average ROI from coaching is between 500 to 700%. and really providing the tools and insights through this Coaching Skills for Managers program to provide exactly what your managers need to introduce coaching to their team and how to make coaching fit their own leadership style. It will support your managers so they don't need to work every night. They don't need to work every weekend, and they don't need to spend so much time reviewing and revising their direct reports' work because they're not going to have as many changes because their directs are going to level up through their coaching. A program like this would easily be priced in the market at 12K USD per participant. However, because I so much believe and want to bring coaching to the market, we are offering for a limited time this program at the low price of $1,850 USD for a 14-hour program over 12 weeks. You might be thinking you can't use all these frameworks, that you need to direct every decision and outcome, but this belief will hold you back as a manager from success because you're basically training your direct reports to come to you for every decision, and you're not giving them the development they need and deserve. So our members through this program get access to this wealth of content and assessments that we have developed. And just as I had to struggle as a people manager in learning how to coach my team, you won't have to, because I'm giving you all these frameworks and templates to make it easy. So it will save your managers time and effort of figuring out through experience and failures of what to do to be successful. It will accelerate their learning process to be an effective leader with the support of their dedicated ICF coach. Often we hear, I don't have time for professional development. A program sounds great, but I don't have time. And often those are the people that require the training and the coaching the most because they are stretched to the max. And the only way to find more time, well, there's two ways: automation and coaching. And coaching is one that I think can have the most impact to support your team and motivate your team to want to do more and to feel ready to do more. The time that a manager can save through coaching, that depends on, of course, the size of their team, but could easily be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, especially over the course of a career. So, whether your motivation is to get promoted and to accelerate your own career trajectory and development, or just to find more time to spend with family and friends, you might be thinking you don't want to put in the work into a program like this because you already know how to coach. But the truth is, you can't be an effective coach without a coach. Beware the coach that doesn't have a coach. And it's an ongoing journey for all of us to continue to upskill our leadership development and our coaching skills. So for any participant in this webinar today, we are offering until the end of the week, Friday, I guess that would be March 29th this week. The program, if you register and pay for the program in full by the end of this week, we will offer, I believe this is a 20% discount, $1,480 USD per participant. And we do have corporate rates for 5+ enrollments within the same program from the same company. So if that's of interest to you, just shoot me an email, Susan@powerupleadership.ca. But just send us a message if you want to avail of this promo. Again, it's available till the end of the week this Friday. So is it worth it? If all you got from this program was more consistent action taken by your directs, would it be worth it? Or if all it did was create better relationships with your peers, your direct reports, your boss, and potentially your family and friends, would it be worth it? And if all it did was create more productivity on your team, would it be worth the investment? We guarantee that you'll see results in only 30 days. And you can check out the details that I've shared today on our website, powerupleadership.ca/coaching skills for managers. We'll send out the link. But we believe so much in this program that we have a money back guarantee. If you're not happy with it, let us know. We guarantee if you show up, you do the work, you do the homework, you will see results within 30 days. So that is our masterclass today. If you have any thoughts or questions on coaching or the program, please feel free to throw it into the Q&A. You're welcome to follow Power Up Leadership on social. We are on LinkedIn, Meta, X, YouTube channel, Power Up Leadership, Power Up Leaders. And we post a lot of our content. We have a free downloads page on our website where we share a lot of coaching frameworks, resources. We have a confidence booster, a communications diagnostic, many other tools, because we know the value that we bring is in our coaching support and in the implementation. So we would love to hear from you, and I will stop sharing my screen here and see if there are any questions. If you do have a question, feel free to throw it into the Q&A. We will send out the recording tomorrow along with the link to the full program. You can check out the details at powerupleadership.ca. I don't see any questions here right now, but thank you so much for being here today, and I hope you have a great rest of your afternoon.